mobile suits are typically known for one thing: war. After all, that is what they were created for and what they do best, other than selling Gunpla. But that doesn't mean that those are the only things they're good for either. Heck, in Witch from Mercury they even started a company to show that the tech used for the Gundams wasn't just all about killing people and could be used for the good of humanity. So today we're going to have a look at the cases where people thought outside of the box with their mobile suits and Gundams. And what better place to start than the series that inspired this video in the first place. One of the first things we're introduced to in Witch from Mercury is that their biotechnology is pretty advanced, with one of the main characters having a Gund prosthetic arm that can function just like a real arm. It just requires some batteries. Unfortunately though, this technology would later be put to use to develop mobile suits and would cause its reputation to become very tarnished, even to the point where they were straight up banned. So only time will tell if the aforementioned company will succeed in their goals of using the Gund for good. But the other non-war application of mobile suits though was a resounding success, and that was the dueling system they had in place. We've seen duels in quite a few Gundam series before, like a training duel in Gundam Seed, proposed duels on the battlefield in various series, or the duels from G Gundam. But I would say that this is the first time that these duels were held for entertainment purposes as well. As soon as a duel takes place, everyone on campus gets notified and can tune in, almost like it's some kind of sports match. And it's also the only application of physical mechs that we have seen in real life. Next up then, imagine for a second that you're stuck on a snowy mountain with your mostly wrecked Gundam. I know, a very common occurrence. So why not use the heat of your giant killing machine's beam saber to create an impromptu hot spring for you and your kinda, not really, but actually totally girlfriend.
Using a beam weapon to make warm water. I've never met anyone with so many strange ideas.
Instant Onsen, now available from your favorite arms dealer. Also, Gundam.info did a poll on the best Gundam bathing scenes in December of 2009, and this scene won with 43.76% against 7 other entries. But hot springs are far from the craziest thing that Gundams have made, because in Iron-Blooded Orphans, they used one to make a baby. It makes sense when you watch the series. In short, the Alaya Vignana system is a special interfacing system that directly connects the pilot to the machine that he's piloting. And while this does give them an immense performance boost, it also comes with many drawbacks. The first one is actually surviving the operation required, and then there's also the risk of receiving too much feedback from the mobile suit when you decide to disable the limiters. Something that happened to the main character, Mika. Through the countless battles that pushed him to his limit, he would gradually lose the use of the right side of his body, but for some reason, he could still use it while hooked up to the Alaya Vignana system. And so, with the help of the Gundam, Mika was able to make a baby. Next up on the list then, we have the Turn A Gundam, a legendary mobile suit from the dark history. A machine so powerful that it could wipe out civilizations. And so when it reappeared in correct century 2345, it would unleash all of its might to become a washing machine. But that's not all. It could also dry the laundry, act as a bridge, serve as a walking power bank, and become the coolest and most high-tech barn. The Turn A Gundam might be widely regarded as the most powerful and deadly Gundam around, for good reason, but it was also as versatile as a Swiss Army knife. An 18-meter tall Swiss Army knife. So what it was actually used for would all depend on the pilot. Something that we see more often then is mobile suits being used for construction work. And as you've probably guessed, we have quite a few reasons as to how they end up being used as construction units. We have things like the mobile workers from the origin, which were officially made as construction vehicles, but actually served as the basis for Zeon's mobile suit development plans. Something that mirrored pre-World War II Germany and their totally tractors and totally civilian aircraft. Then there's the Desperado from Gundam H, which seems like it actually was legitimately developed as a construction machine, but then just happened to become the perfect base frame military machine later on. Again, something that happened with tractors in real life. Then we have the standard mobile suits that became obsolete and were pushed into construction service because, well, they were there, they had to be used for something, so you might as well use them for building things, like the Zaku 1 or the James Gun. But then we also have the dedicated conversions of existing mobile suits. Typically, again, these conversions were carried out on damaged or older mobile suits, again, like the Zaku or the Zaku tank, but I know of at least one high-performance machine that also got a construction overhaul. The Wound Ward, because of course it's the Wound Ward. At this point, I'd be surprised if there was something that the Wound Ward couldn't do and wasn't turned into. But in this machinery form, its left arm is replaced with a crane, it's got a drill on its back, and the legs are now those of a Hyzak. And when your mobile suit eventually gets too busted up to even use for menial labor, you can always decorate them and put them in the garden. Or you can use them as garden decorations while they're still fully capable, so you can use them to surprise any home invaders. They'll never see it coming. And since we were just talking about mobile suits designed for construction, we do actually have other mobile suits that weren't built for combat. And the first one is the Ultimate Gundam. Its main piece of equipment were nanotech cells that could repair and evolve the machine itself. But they were mainly designed for the machine's ultimate goal, restoring the Earth. But unfortunately, this wasn't meant to be. While descending to Earth, something went wrong, and the Gundam decided to reevaluate its goal. It would still try to fix the Earth somewhat, but it decided that the best way to go about this now was to eliminate all humans. The Ultimate Gundam had become the Devil Gundam, and instead of fixing the Earth for the humans, it was now hell-bent on creating an undead army
with the help of Kyoji!
The Stargazer Gundam then was a civilian-made mobile suit designed for deep space exploration. For this, it was outfitted with an AI to commandeer the machine on its very long mission, and the Voiture Lumière propulsion system that would allow it to gradually accelerate to light speed. Again, another reason why it got an AI, because humans would not react to this very well, probably. But if you want to go even faster, and also want to be inside of the mobile suit while it is going very fast, we have to go back to the Turn A Gundam, which could just straight up teleport. And it's not the only Gundam capable of doing this. Thanks to its twin drive system, the 00 Gundam was capable of quantum teleportation, a technology that would also later be expanded upon. So if you need to go somewhere really fast, nothing beats a mobile suit-sized teleportation device. And finally, we have sports, with one of the most famous sporting mobile suits being the Hobby Hyzak. After the Grips War, the Federation really didn't want anything to do with the Titans anymore, so they dropped the Hyzak harder than Zeon dropped Side 2. And so, surplus Hyzaks began popping up everywhere, with the Hobby Hyzak being a conversion made for the civilian market. And as its name indicates, it would be mostly advertised as a hobby and sports machine, although it would apparently also be used by some civilian self-defense forces. But the true stars of the mobile suit sporting sphere were the petite mobiles, who even had their own leagues and were broadcast on mainstream television. And when you know that Anaheim Electronics were involved, you know that it's big enough for actual money to be made. And if you want to learn more about these petite mobile suits and their races, you can check out my dedicated video on the subject, which is linked on screen and down below. But that has been all for this video on the alternative uses of mobile suits, or at least the ones that we saw in the anime. So let me know down below, if you had a mobile suit, what would you use it for, other than war or reenacting GTA? As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all next time.